Who is this?
Welcome, Vikings fans. This is the FullSkol podcast.
Let's go!
How did that not get? Oh my god! And there it is. The price is wrong, bitch. Ow.
Times two.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't been avoiding the episodes. I know
No.
it's just.
I know you're going
life.
to do so.
Yeah,
But
life happened.
Yes.
So yeah. Anyways, but it just happened to happen on when it rains, it pours.
Yes.
It just happened on two back-to-back losses on a short week.
Yes.
So,
What?
but
you gonna do?
I don't know how we should have talked about this before we recorded. Like, how are we just going to recap them both as if they happened at the same time, or?
I don't
I
even.
mean,
do,
no,
do
we'll touch on
Do we
the-
even have to really go through? I mean, do we have? Do you want?
I mean,
to
probably
go
we'll do it.
through-
We'll do it really quickly. Detroit going into Detroit coming to Minnesota should have been a victory, which
Should have been a
wasn't.
victory.
They had never beaten us 4 times or
Yes, they
more
did
than
beat
4
us.
times in a row, I believe.
Yep.
This made it 5, so they kind of own
No, this
us
was 4.
right now. I
This
don't
was
like
4.
saying that out loud. This was 4. I thought it was 5.
Yeah. No,
this was 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which sucks.
And there will
because-
not be a 5. There will not be a 5.
No, which means we have to beat them in Detroit. So
Yes.
that sucks.
Yes.
And I remember going into it, I was like, this is, it seemed like every game except for game 1 was like, this is a test. This is a test. This is okay. We beat the Niners. Oh, okay. We beat Green Bay. Oh, we beat Houston. Whatever. But Detroit was playing really, really, really good and still are.
Yeah.
We're like, this is a real test. This will put like the naysayers to rest and, Sam Darnold turning into a pumpkin and all this nonsense.
Whatever.
Which
Yeah.
I could say, I guess some people could say, well, it's not nonsense, but he hasn't really played that poorly, though. I mean, that game was about as close as it gets.
Well,
And I don't know if you have those stats pulled up, but like if you go down the line, like pretty much every stat was
identical.
super close. Yeah, super close. Hairline margin.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have them as like the Vikings numbers. I don't have those numbers right in front of me. Like I saw that statistic of time of possession was like less than a minute difference. First downs, third downs, turnovers. Penalties. I think we had 8 for 59. They had 8 for 49. Sam Darnold went 22 for 27 for 259 yards with a touchdown and an interception. Jared Goff, who's playing MVP levels according to everybody, was 22 for 25, but 280 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he really didn't get outplayed very much other than that one interception, which was a bad interception. He probably had Jordan Addison open. Maybe that's a little bit of a chink in Sam Darnold's armor, if you would. But yeah, I mean, we were right there. And a first down at the end of this game, and we win. We win by 1. Because we got the turnover when we needed it. The defense, got the turnover, and then we just could not keep the ball. We had to punt it away to them, and then, they just march right down and kick a field goal to win the game. So, and of course,
really nothing
well,
to bitch about in that game.
Yeah, no.
In that, like, there wasn't any.
The pre-snap penalties,
just like pre-snap penalties, which.
And that reared its head last week. Again.
The only one, that was a problem for us. But what I was going to say is there's no like outside interference. Than, now correct me if I'm not, hopefully I'm not combining the two games here. but there was a pre-snap penalty on Addison. I think,
Yes.
was it offsides or illegal formation or something? And it's like,
Yeah.
was he? Like, that was like super hairline. And so like the call that was kind of ticky-tack, but I don't think that the game would have been decided on that play.
Yeah.
So it's not even that one's like,
yeah. Now the Rams game,
we got beat. We got beat by Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit's a real. I mean, we said it from the beginning. I mean, they're a good, really good team, and obviously they're rolling. I mean, to our credit, I guess I would say it was a dogfight for one. We had, they lost 2 11-point leads. They gave up 2 11-point leads, and generally they don't do that. They've been scoring an average of like 46 points a game. They just put a 52 piece, I think, on the Tennessee Titans. It was like 52-14 or something. I mean, absolutely destroyed them. You got running backs throwing the ball. You got linemen catching. I mean, they're just playing games with people. And we held them to 31, their lowest point total of all their wins. And in the midst of their steamrolling, like, we had them beat. We really had them beat. So I guess if there's a silver lining, I know there is no moral victories in this game. I mean, it is what it is. Kevin O'Connell, no moral victories. We didn't do enough. And the pre-snap penalties, they just killed us. We're 2nd and 20, 2nd and 15, third and 15, 2nd and 20, 3rd and 15. Like, it's hard to do anything really with that when you're behind the sticks, a lot of the times. But I mean, we knew it was going to be a fight. I really didn't see the Rams one. I mean, but just kind of stay with the Lions. I mean, we were right there toe to toe. KOC talked about it in his locker room speech. That was a heavyweight fight, man. That was, that was blow for blow. But like I said, they lost 2 11-point leads, and we take off 10-0. They go up 21-10. We come storming right back. They go up again, another 11-point lead. We come back, we take the lead, and then we end up losing in the end. But to me, if there is anything that I took from that, was that we showed some real heart. Sam Darnold definitely played well enough to win the game. The defense, we saw maybe a formula that was repeated against the Rams. It was kind of like a little bit of
what I was concerned about early. If you remember me saying, I'm like, okay, this is great. It's working now. But the more and more this goes on, the more tape teams have, and are they going to figure it out?
Mm-hmm.
And
I think Jared Goff started the game like 18 for 18 or something like that. I mean, like,
yeah,
what did I see? What did I see a stat that he has more touchdowns than incompletes in the last like 5 games? Jared Goff, like, he's playing at an MVP level. So,
yeah,
I mean, you got to give credit where credit is due. I mean,
yeah, Detroit was great. They played a really good game, and the only fingers to be pointed are right back at ourselves. And it's like,
yeah,
we couldn't get 2 first downs. We couldn't get 2 first downs.
That's all we need.
Drive.
That's all we need. Yeah.
That's it. We were in control of our destiny at that point. All we gotta do is keep.
It was our game to win. We lost. We lost that game. They didn't beat us. We lost that game because we couldn't do anything with the offense. Which brings me to the KOC. We start off hot. Are we seeing the inexperience of his head coaching career later in the games when he has to on the fly make adjustments? Because anybody can come into a game with a game plan, and we've seen it all season long. We start out just amazing. Like, I think we were going into that game, we were like 70 some points to like 3 in the first quarter, outscoring our opponents. And actually that game, same, they did not score in the first quarter. So we come out just boom. But then,
his plan drives are like awesome.
Yeah. So, are we seeing, I mean, maybe he's still, this is.
Well, he is pretty young. Like, nobody's good. You don't just start out Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's gonna, and he's, to his credit, he's held himself. He's held his own feet to the fire with that. He's like, I have things I need to learn. I have mistakes that I made, and and that's great. But yeah, I mean, sure, there's definitely room for some growth there. But my takeaway from there, the silver line to that dark cloud is kind of like the grit, the heart. we're never out of it. You know, we're not getting down on ourselves. Finding ways to stay in these games, but with that, like that's not good enough. Like that's not going to get you deep in the playoffs. That's not going to get you a championship. You got to finish games. And when you have a game like that in control, you got to finish. You have to finish it.
Yeah. The
you
good
have the lead. You're in control of the clock. Do it. Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. I mean, the good teams are there. The great teams are the ones that finish. Like I don't know that we still have that. You know, do we have that? Obviously, we didn't have it against the Lions. Could we have against the Rams? Maybe. Under 2 minutes to go, face mask in the end zone. I mean,
well, I think it does come down to at that when the stats like the Detroit game are that hairline thin. I think it does come down to quarterback. And while Sam Darnold has played great, and early on people were like, is he in the MVP conversation? I don't think we could say that anymore unless he finishes really strong.
Yeah.
But you have, there is only one Mahomes, but you have a top tier, a Brock Purdy. You know, I don't know if did I put him in a top tier right now? I know, but you know what I'm saying? Like the marquee quarterbacks, you put them in that same situation. Do they finish that drive and do they win? I would say probably, yeah.
I mean,
probably.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. It's hard to say. And then some of that is it the play calling? Is it execution or is it play call? You know what I mean? I mean,
I put more faith in KOC than I do Sam Darnold.
Well, yeah, of course, I do too.
I say it's play call. I say it's
execution. Yeah.
No, there was there were some catches that I thought JJ should have made in that Lions game. Definitely some catches that Addison should have made. I mean, I think that's kind of been a theme with Addison. I know he's probably not getting as targeted as much as he'd want to, but when he is targeted, he's not taking full advantage of it. He has dropped some very catchable balls.
Yeah.
So that's not helping either. And then against the Rams,
Rams' fault. Yeah. Naylor.
Dude, we just did too. I mean, that's the other thing. At the end of the Detroit game, though, or was it the end of the half? When did we lose Darisaw?
No, not the Rams. We lost him last
week.
Oh,
that was in the Rams. That was at the end of the half, going for kind of there was an argument to be made, like, just don't run that extra play or do whatever. And that last play is where he got hurt.
Yeah.
So that sucks. And that definitely hurt us for the remainder of that Rams game, for sure.
I mean, it's all pro, dude. Like, you can't. Yeah, the backups are not. They're nowhere near Christian Darisaw. We can get into that.
And I agree with most. I agree with most of the people saying that, like, that face mask was the poster boy for egregious non-calls.
Yeah.
And the bullshit excuses they said afterwards. And even the player that did it was like, "Oh, I was just covering my ears because it was so loud." It's like, dude knew that he just gave us like 15 yards and a fresh down to make some magic happen.
Yeah.
But it should never have come down to that. And to be honest, I don't know that I had, from what I saw in that game, even if that happens, the next play, I don't know how much confidence I have that we would have pulled off a miracle. I mean,
well, I think that we did because we've seen Sam Darnold, even in the games that we've won, that we were up and people made a run. He'd come down at the end of the game and make a run to get us into scoring position and to score. Now, we didn't throw those into touchdowns, but momentum, all that kind of stuff. Fresh set of downs. A minute 40 something left. That's a huge call. And I mean, that game to me, and I hate to sound like a whiny fan, but really the refs played a huge part in that game. I mean, how many third downs did we get off the field and they called some phantom penalty and then they end up extending the drive and scoring on that drive?
Right. So that is true.
That game, the officiating was atrocious. I mean, and
it is atrocious, and it's the same crew that has fucked us in the past.
Is it?
Yeah,
I didn't know that, but
that.
I mean, the face mask just capped it off. But really, the third down holding on Who was it on? Was it on?
Oh, one of the was it Addison, the defensive holding? One of them.
Oh yeah. There was a
That was
defensive
like
holding
he
on
barely
a
touched a
play
jersey.
and then there was a defensive holding, and there was an offensive holding on a block and stuff like that. I'm like, come on, dude! Like, are you kidding me, man? That's ridiculous. So that game right there, short week. The Lions' record of opponents. Let's see, how does it go? Every game that the Lions have won this year, the next week, that team
Yeah,
has
the next
lost.
team gets blown
Has
out.
lost. Yeah, no,
Well,
that
lost, but they usually get
yeah,
blown
lost.
out. But
Yeah,
we didn't get blown
because
out. But
it's such a physical, because they're so dirty, and trying to hurt people and banging them all the
and it was a
time.
short week, and there was a
They had
stat
to
that
travel to California.
traveling.
Yeah.
Yep. There's a traveling. There was a big stat there that's terrible that hardly ever anybody wins when they go to all the way to the West Coast,
opposite
on a
coast,
short week, and blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah. But
Yeah. And so, there's a lot of things, but like KOC said, which I love about him, he's like, there's no excuses. I mean, like, there's no excuses. We play what's in front of us. We play the schedule that's given to us. And so there's no excuses. And they, like I said, I think the officiating really played a part in that game. We should have won that game as well, but here we are at 5-2.
Or 5-2 is not terrible. Thankfully, thank God for the Bears' loss.
Yeah.
Wow. Like,
geez
Louise, Green Bay wins again.
Yeah.
Detroit, again, just curb stomped their opponent. Like, they're becoming a real problem. Like, they're scoring a ridiculous amount.
Yeah.
And there's a psychological effect with that, too, though, is now, like, teams are like, holy crap. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to continue to win. Like, let's just look at the Chiefs. They're still undefeated, but they're not winning in this like crazy dominant fashion. They're not blowing people out 50-14 or whatever these ridiculous scores are.
Yeah.
There comes a psychological advantage of absolutely blowing teams out like that. And I want to give Dan Campbell some credit when it comes to that. It's like so many coaches, and I would say ours included, we have these leads and we go into it and all of a sudden we piss it away because we take our foot off the gas and we're playing this prevent and we're draining the clock. And Dan Campbell's like, I'm just going to keep scoring, bro.
Yeah. Put your foot on your neck. Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Because
I am too. Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
If you're up 10 points, get up 20 points, get up 30 points.
Yeah.
What does it matter?
No, they're a real squad. I mean, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. They're going to make a deep run unless barring some kind of injury. Now, of course, like we talked about before our game with Hutch going down, I mean, I know that the defense still played well, and obviously they just pounded the Titans, but it's the Titans. I mean, so it's not like they're playing a juggernaut. Now they're playing the Packers this week, division game. Jordan Love looks like he's going to be able to play. They're in Lambeau. I don't know what the weather looks like this weekend in Lambeau. I mean, obviously the Bears
are cooler.
Yeah. So, there's a chance there, but it doesn't really help us much because right now we're third in the division because Green Bay hasn't had their bye. So they're 6-2 and we're 5-2. So when we win on Sunday, we'll be tied and we have the tiebreaker on Green Bay. But if the Green Bay beats Detroit, then actually if Green Bay beats Detroit, they go to 1. Detroit's 2, and then we're back at 3 again. So, I mean, you talk about a gauntlet.
Which I'm less scared of Green Bay than I am.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So they can go ahead and get up. We're sweeping. Yeah. We're sweeping the Packers.
Yeah, and the Bears, and we're gonna win the last one. We're gonna go 2, 4, 5-1 in the division. I mean, we're gonna beat the Lions at the end. We're gonna split with them. The last game of the season is gonna come down to it, and we got something for them. So
we lose Darisaw. We've got his replacement. We traded for Jaguars player
Cam Robinson. And he is not Christian Darrisaw. He is not Christian Darrisaw.
No, he's not.
But I looked up a little bit of his numbers there. So he's really good in pass protection. But his run blocking is not great, but he is an absolute monster of a man. 6'6", 3 what? Cam Robinson.
Oh my God.
Oh, where did it go now? Oh, man, I just had his bio up here. Um, oh, maybe it's in the same graphic. Yeah, no, he is an absolute beast. 6'6", 335. 29 years old. He was the 34th pick of the
That's a monster, dude. That's a
2017
monster.
draft. So, but and he's got good. He's a good pass protector. So that's what we need. He's not great on the run blocking, but with Aaron Jones in the backfield, can we get by with a little bit of not so much good run blocking if they can work in schemes and they double teams, and he can make a lot of things happen when things aren't necessarily there. But from what I'm hearing from people is that he's better than what we have. He's better than Questenberry. Dalton Reisner comes back this week too, I believe, but obviously they're not going to put him at left tackle. I guess he's going to play guard or something probably. And then I'm assuming, now I have not heard, that this Cam Robinson will start on Sunday. Our game was flexed to Sunday night, so at least the league wants to see us more. So that might be a good thing, because I'm starting to kind of believe that there's a narrative. I'm not like we want this or we want that.
The SI cover with Ant-Man and JJ. So yeah, there's
some
juice.
love. Yeah, exactly. Juice. I like that. Yeah, around the Vikings.
Yeah, for sure. And they probably want us, honestly, if you want to play with that a little bit, that the NFL is rigged and that they're making drama, which it's at least rigged enough that they do want to create drama and they want eyeballs on games because that sells advertising. They probably want to see the Vikings bounce back. I mean, right now they have something with the NFC North that they've never had.
That's true. That's true.
The NFC North is just ridiculous. So
no, I agree.
They definitely want to keep that in the spotlight because that's high drama. That's good theater. You don't have to be a fan of the NFC North to be like, what is going on up there?
Exactly. Yeah.
Because what is it? 1. Wait, what are the records? 2 losses for 3 of us, Detroit only has 1 loss, right?
Detroit has 1, 2 losses for the
5,
and then the Bears have 3, 5, 7, 8. Yeah,
8 combined losses in week 8 or going into week 8. No, after week 8.
Yeah, after week 8. Yeah,
bro.
Yeah, because this will be our. Actually, it's kind of week 9.
That's only an average of 1 loss per week.
Yeah,
for the NFC North. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's the best division in football, without a doubt. I've had some Lions fans reach out to me, obviously, after the game and stuff like that.
Well, it's kind of your fault because you were talking mad shit.
Well, yeah, and that's fine. But here's the thing. Here's my mad scientist, is that as soon as we get the link up for this, right into that feed, more subscribers, more YouTube juice. So, I was like, there's a lot of purposes for that. Obviously, it was to stir the pot a little bit. I wanted to see, where people were at. And I thought we were going to win. Obviously, I thought we were going to win. But ulterior motives was I get all these people on this thread, and then boom, we send out a podcast, and at least they come check it out, and you never know, maybe we get some subscribers out of it. I mean,
I haven't even looked. I want to see it. I thought my turn your head in golf was pretty good.
That was awesome. Yeah, that was awesome.
Title to put on there. Hopefully that grabs some eyeballs.
I don't know. But anyway, so I definitely stirred the pot on purpose. But for me, at this point in my fandom, it doesn't really make me that upset anymore. Like, in years past when we would lose, I'd be like, and I'm like, you know what? These guys are getting paid millions and millions of dollars. They don't care as much as I do. So why do I care? I'm a huge fan. And when we win the Super Bowl, I'm going to cry like a baby. But I'm like, okay, we lost. Why is it going to affect my day to day? So you guys run your mouth all you want to, whatever. At the end of the day, you guys, the Lions are a great team, and you won. Good for you. I would hope that there's enough respect as a human, and we're friends. Most of those people on there are all my friends, to some kind of a degree. So I'm just like, whatever. Yep, good for you, man. Good. Go ahead. Way to go. And when it comes back around, I don't want to hear excuses, and that's probably what I will hear. But
You
it's
will.
there's still some ammo because you just never know. I mean, we all of a sudden the tide turns, and looking at the schedule, very favorable for us the next 4, 5, 6 games. So, there's a lot. What is it? Many a slip twixt a cup and a lip. So there's a lot of things that can happen between now and the end of the season. Still a lot of football left. 6 games. We're 5-2, so 7 games. So we still have 10 more games. I mean, a lot. We go 8-2 in that stretch. We're 13-4, just like we talked about. So, there's and really, I don't see. We have the Falcons, and of course,
Which
we have the
could
division
be
game.
that could be a game.
Yeah. No, the Falcons are playing good. Kirko coming home. He put up a 500-yard piece this year. Look going forward. Of course, we have the division games. I think we beat the Packers at home. Obviously, they come to us. We sweep the Bears. I don't think that's really an issue. And then Detroit at the end of the season. But everybody else in that is Tennessee. It's the Jaguars. It's the Colts this coming Sunday. Which, just speaking of the Colts, I know last year was the greatest comeback in NFL history against the Colts. We were down 33-0. And we got bad news this week today. Joe Flacco is starting instead of Anthony Richardson. Is
that bad news?
Yes, Anthony Richardson was a turnover machine. That dude was going to give us the ball like crazy.
He gets tired.
He checked himself out of the
game. He's getting raped over the coals as he should.
I'm like, what? What?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I was tired.
Yeah.
What?
I'm sorry. What? You did what? But Joe Flacco, I mean, that dude's got a proven track record to come in and save teams, save a season, and he's an experienced. Has he experienced against B-Flow? No, but Detroit,
they got tape.
They've showed, and what it is that boom, 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 quick little outs, move the chains. So, that could be a problem. It could be a problem. There's no doubt about it.
It is a test. I think it's a big test for B-Flow. I want to see how he bounces back.
Yes.
Hopefully he's able to modify and keep getting tricky or getting new looks that maybe teams haven't seen yet. He has to respond. Our defense has to respond.
No pressure. No pressure last week. No pressure.
Yeah, none.
2 sacks, something like that.
You got to sit back there and do whatever you want.
Yeah, Jared Goff had all day. Yeah, 18 for 18 to start the game. Of course, I mean, like,
dude, when that game started, dude, and JJ was going off, I was like, I texted my bro and you. I was like, dude, this continues. JJ's gonna have a career game, dude. Every time he touches the ball, it's 30+ yards. This is ridiculous.
Well, and see that goes back to the point of KOC being very able to get a game started, get a game plan. This is what we're going to do. And obviously JJ was the emphasis, like, hey, we're going to get you off early and often. And then boom, what happens? It starts to fall apart, like.
Now I believe we're getting Hawkinson back this week.
Oh yes, 100%. We are definitely getting him back. Now
that's huge.
Huge. It's huge. And we forget how good he is because we haven't seen him in almost a season. I think he got hurt in December of last year. So all of the rest of last season and then all of this season so far. So, and no limitations, no snap count from what I'm hearing. So, I mean,
Reisner and Sabretooth back, dude.
Yeah. This is going to be the start, flex to a Sunday night game, nationally televised. Let's go. Let's go out. Let's show people who we are again. I mean, we're dropping in the power rankings to 10th, to 12th. I mean, like, we were at 2 for a while. 1, 3, top 5, steady. Okay, yeah, we lost 2 games, but now we're way down, almost middle of the pack and stuff.
The power rankings are just so reactionary, though. And I remember coming off the bye, we without even playing, we dropped in some people's power rankings because we hadn't played, and they got to watch other teams win and whatever else. And what they're not taking into consideration is it was a short week.
Yeah.
Was going coast to coast. Well, all these factors that give them credence or not, like they're there. They're looking at who won, who lost.
Yeah.
Very reactionary, these power rankings. Like, I'm not too worried about the power rankings, to be honest.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't put it.
Obviously, as a fan, it's nice to see us at the top, but it's like, what in the end, does it mean anything? Because we were ranked 2 and we lost twice. So that, like, what does it really mean? Like,
nothing. Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, like Kansas City is at 1. They keep winning, so it's easy to put them there. But
I've seen a lot of Detroit.
They're winning. They're finding ways to win. And to me, it looks very reminiscent of the Vikings a couple years ago when nobody was giving us credit because we were winning, but we were finding weird ways to win and barely winning and
not sustainable.
I feel like the Chiefs is that going to bite them in the ass in the postseason? Like, how long can you keep that up?
Well, they just got DeAndre Hopkins too, though. They just upgraded their wide receiver crew by a lot. So, and
I'm not saying they're not good. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying like the reactionary power. I'm only speaking to power rankings right now. I'm only speaking to power. I'm not gonna dog a team. I guess I'm saying, like, bring up the Vikings. Like, I'm not dogging a team for barely winning. You're winning. You're finding ways to win. That's a good thing.
Yeah. No, for sure. I've seen at least 2. I haven't looked that much at them because I know where we're at. Where Detroit's 1 and Kansas City's 2, even though Kansas City's undefeated. But it's what you're doing right now. It's the optics of it all. The power rankings are so subject to like, they're just great. They're dominant. They're doing this. They're doing that. Yeah, they are. But who are they playing? I mean, the Dallas Cowboys with a Mike Zimmer defense. Come on now, they're not good. Dallas Cowboys have given up 40-something points.
Do we get to play them this year? I don't think we do.
No, we don't.
That sucks.
You know how
awesome I'd love to kick him straight in the teeth, dude.
Yeah, just absolutely demolish him. But no, we didn't. And they just lost again to the 49ers this week.
I bet he gets fired in the offseason.
Oh yeah, he might not make the season. That'd be awesome. Wouldn't that be awesome if he got fired?
That would be really great.
That would be amazing. Yeah, McCarthy's like, we're changing it up on defense. Yeah, we're going.
Yeah, you suck. You're fired.
Yeah, exactly. He's terrible. He's terrible. He's
a dinosaur, dude. He's a man out of time.
Go to the ranch. You got all your millions. Just go be angry by yourself at home.
That's right.
Just be done with it.
Go sit there and yell at the TV and root against the Vikings for the rest of your life.
For the rest of your life.
Because then you're gonna get fired, and then you're gonna have to root against the Cowboys for the rest of your life because you suck.
Yeah, yeah. Who all are you gonna hate? You're gonna hate the Vikings and the Cowboys because we fired you. What do you mean? I'm not gonna watch any more games. They got me fired.
Yeah. So dumb. So dumb. So we got stuff to look forward to, I think. We better win.
Okay, yeah. We lose Sunday night. We got problems. We have to win this game. I mean, we have to win this game. What did we start out in 2016? Was it?
Yeah, that's one they kept talking about. Well, we've seen this before from them.
We started out 6-0, and then we ended up like 8-8 on the season. We went like 2-8 or something like that after that. So, but looking at the schedule, we did get flexed to Sunday night. The Colts coming to our house. Like I said, Joe Flacco. It's not going to be an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. And then we got the Jaguars in Jacksonville. That again should be a win. And we have the Titans in Tennessee. I mean, if Detroit did that, we have to go in there and show, hey, yeah, we could do this too. And then we got the Bears in Chicago. So, the next
a lot better
3, 4, 5 games.
I would feel a lot better winning by 20 in one of these games.
No. Yeah.
Speaking of finding ways to win, like I don't want to just win these games. The next 3 games or 2, I'll say 2. The next 2 games,
3 for sure.
Have to be blowouts. Should be blowouts.
Colts, Jaguars, Titans. I mean, the Titans just got beat by 40 points by the Detroit. So we have to show that we're hey, we can do this too. We got to put a little bit of and it's not even that like we want to show this team. We have to show Detroit. Okay, you beat the Titans 52-14. Well, we just threw a 50 piece on them too, or a 40 couple piece, and we held them to 10 points. Like we beat them 44-10. I mean, we have to send a message to say, don't look. We're here too. We're still here. We are still here. We are still a force in this division. But I mean, we have to go out and do it. And like I said, Colts, Jaguars, Titans. I mean, the next 3 games, it should be 2 and 3 score games. Like they should be easily in hand by midway through the second quarter. We should have, double-digit lead and never even don't even make it interesting. We just, fall asleep in the second half as fans because it's boring. We just keep pounding it, So, and then the Bears, right around Thanksgiving, November 24th. I think Thanksgiving is like the 27th or 8th or something like that. So that's a Sunday. So it'd be the 28th. I think, it's the last Thursday in the month. So, Bears, Cardinals, Falcons, Bears again, I think is how it goes. So, but the next 3 for sure. We have to go in there and do that.
And please, no more injuries.
Yes. No. Yep. No. We talked about that earlier. We were saying, if Sam goes down or something like that, Christian Darrisaw was a huge loss. I mean, that dude is a stud, all pro, So, somebody else. Yeah, and there's a lot of injuries this year going around. I mean, a lot of people have been hurt. So, hopefully, knock on all the wood that's
and it's
done.
It's the ACL, MCL. It's the same stuff.
Diggs
Diggs
out for this season for Houston.
Yep. That was an ACL, wasn't it, or MCL? I don't remember which one.
I think it's
one
both.
of those.
It's his knee. It's
one of
knee.
those CLs.
Yeah.
And that was a no contact.
Yep.
Injury.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, dude. It's got.
Is it the turf? Is it what? Is there something going on? I don't know.
It's got to be the turf. I mean, I feel like it's the turf, but I don't. That's me not playing on it, saying stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire. I feel like I just don't remember as a football fan seeing this level of the very similar injuries.
Yeah, but to that point, were we really this big of a football fan, or were we just Vikings fans? You know what I mean? Like, for me, I didn't follow a lot of the other stuff until the last couple of years that we've started doing this podcast. I mean, it's made me more of a football fan in general. I mean, you kind of.
I was playing fantasy. I've been playing fantasy for many, 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 many years, so I was watching all the teams.
Yeah,
I mean, I haven't played fantasy now for 10 plus years because I got screw-ad the last year. I'm like, that's it. I'm out.
Yeah. I'm back in this year, but I barely keep an eye on my thing. I'm just like, it just doesn't have the appeal because I just want to pull for the Vikings. I don't want to have to do that or put this person in. I'm just like, no.
I quit, I was like, this is how football's supposed to be. I went back, I went right back to not caring, not doing the stupid mental gymnastics of, I hate the Packers and I need them to lose, but I still need here to have 3 touchdowns. Like, no, dude, I don't want 3 touchdowns against my Vikings. Screw that.
No, I don't want.
I don't want 3 touchdowns for the Packers ever at any point in time against anybody.
Well, here's the age-old dilemma that we always have. Packers Detroit this weekend.
Yeah, well,
we never pull for the Packers to win. We're pulling for Detroit to lose.
Oh man,
it's like.
I'll be honest. I kind of want Detroit to win. Just
keep steamrolling.
Yeah, just keep. Beating up on them because the more they beat Green Bay up, the more beat up they are when we play them.
That's true. And if Detroit wins, or probably when they win, and we win, then we jump automatically into second place again. Because if the Packers beat Detroit,
we'll have a division
we're still in third. Yeah.
So just fuck the Packers, dude. Like, I don't care. Even if we don't win the division or whatever happens, I've often said this. I've been a closet Lions fan for a long time just because they've been so trash for so long. I'm old enough that I lived through the oh my God, Barry Sanders years.
Yeah.
So to have a generational talent like that and do nothing with it sucks, dude. Megatron too. So my only apprehension with that now is that the hapless Lions fans, now that they're having success, are turning into everything that we hate about the Packer fans and just being obnoxious. It's like, don't become the thing that you hate is kind of what I always say. It's like, what a lot of coaches tell their players, like when they finally get to a big game, like act like you've been there before.
Yeah, act like you've been there before. Yeah. But Lions fans haven't. They've been atrocious, like you said, for a long, long time. So I get it. I mean,
Yeah, and at the end of the year, if they beat us, at the end of the year, if they win a Super Bowl, good for them. I mean, great. If it can't be us, I'd rather have it them. I for sure don't want it to be Green Bay. Screw that. So yeah, you know what? I'm rooting for the Lions this week.
And they have the Super Bowl hangover, and so then it gives us a chance to come back and win and be more relevant because they'll have the hardest schedule and they'll be.
Well, it also becomes more expensive to keep your players.
Well, exactly, yeah, and coaches start leaving and everything else. I mean, there's some, the hangover is a real thing. So, but whatever. I don't know that they can do that. I mean, I like Dan Campbell just because, like you said, he keeps his foot on their throat to that, but he still makes some boneheaded decisions. If I was a Lions fan, I'd be like, I don't know, dude. This dude going for it like against us, it almost cost them the game, going for it on 4th down in the first quarter on their own 30-yard line. I mean, I loved it. I was like, yes, come on, you idiot. You're such a meathead. But it didn't end up biting them in the end. So, it didn't work, obviously, but in the end, they end up winning the game, and now they're atop of the NFC and top of the North, and so good for you. But I still think if he never learns to rein it in, I don't know that they can win a Super Bowl like that. I mean, you live and die by the sword, and at some point you're going to die by that sword because you made the wrong call at the wrong time. And when you think nobody expects it, everybody expects it now. Everybody expects it. You're not going to surprise anybody with the trick plays on 4th and 7 from your own 25. Like, they expect it because you're like, nobody's going to think we're going to do it. Yeah, well, now we all do because we know what your MO is. So
yeah, they'll have a contingency.
Yeah. So whatever. I wanted to touch this on real quick before we. I mean, I don't know how much more we got, but I am seeing some things on JJ McCarthy. And I don't know. I read something per Diana Rossini, which I didn't see it just from her, but somebody else had posted this, that the Vikings plan for J.J. McCarthy, and a lot of this sounds, like, okay, yeah, it makes sense. Meet with Kevin O'Connell for at least an hour a week. Assistant QB's coach, Grant Udinsky, working with McCarthy all season, provide anything he needs. I'm going to skip the next one. Daily presence in quarterback and team meetings, receiving knowledge of weekly game plan. And then the last one, providing McCarthy virtual reality programs to help him grow. Darnold will have a GoPro on his helmet during practices, and McCarthy will watch film from that to see everything from the quarterback's perspective.
I gotta assume every team has probably got that technology now, but
you would think, but I'm like, dude, that's taking advantage of next level technology, especially with those VR glasses. Like I've had very limited access to those, but what I've heard is that those are like so immersive that, I mean, like I've seen ones now where you can like watch NBA games like you're on the front row.
Yeah, dude, I just heard about that, like courtside.
Yeah.
Crazy, dude. That might get me to buy a set of VR goggles. Yeah, because I got to sit courtside one time right behind Kevin Harlan, and it was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, dude, could you imagine watching a Vikings game from right, like on the field kind of stuff? Like, dude, if that's a real possibility of somehow you can actually stream live, like it's not just a program.
I like it better. I like it better for NBA than I do NFL, just because it's much. The court's way smaller, so if you're in the middle, you can see both goals. I mean, no problem. But
for a football game, you'd have to be up, but you'd have to be 50-yard line.
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't like being close to the field at a football game because
it's hard to see
I would rather be in the middle, but like if you get an end zone, sure, it's great when your team for the one half your team scores in that end zone, but the rest of the time you're like, did they score? What? I can't. You're looking at the jumbotron anyways.
Yeah. I mean, you get the ambiance and you get the atmosphere, but you're not really seeing it. You can see it better on TV. You can see all the replays.
It's like going to a concert, like nosebleeds in a big time concert. Yeah. Like you're watching the screen the whole time. You're just like, you're not really there live, really.
Just to say you were and to hear them live, I guess, and all the extras. That's the main thing. It's the experience. It's all the extras.
It's a shared, it's a shared experience. You're in there with like-minded people and whatever else. It's fun. But well, predictions.
I hadn't really thought about it too much. And Joe Flacco honestly, Joe Flacco scares me because he's got priors of doing crazy stuff, coming in last minute. He's a 15-year vet, I would think, or something like that. I mean, like, dude's been around. But T.J. Hawkinson's back. Dalton Reisner's back in. We've had kind of that mini bye. We got rested. We have to put a number on them. We're at home. Jamie Erdahl's going to do the Gallahorn. 33-17.
We're close. I think I might just steal that number. That's right, kind of where my brain was at too.
I mean, it just feels, 15-point win, 2+ touchdowns. I think we're going to come out hot again, like we always do. We're at home.
If we do a parlay, we got to put a Hawkinson touchdown on there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Parlays are, I don't know, maybe a thing as a pad with my current with my current situation. I mean, I'm willing to put something down for you, but we'll have to kind of see about that one because unfortunately, life has attacked in a very real way. But so but I think that we get back on track. This is just the first of 3 or 4 games in a row where we start to steam back up. We start to build momentum back up. Everybody's feeling good. We put all the naysayers to rest, all that kind of stuff. I think KOC, they asked him, people, in his last couple of press conferences, how do you keep the team? He's like, you know what? I know it sounds, cliche or whatever, but I always preach that we're just looking to go 1-0 on Sunday. That's all we're looking to do. And he said that since day one, 3 years ago, like 2.5 years ago. We're just trying to go 1-0 today. That's it. Game plan. We don't worry about the record and all that kind of stuff. Put that behind us. Let's go. TJ coming back. We forget how good this dude is. This dude is a stud. He is a difference maker. And how are they going to combat that? I mean, it's going to open up JJ. It's going to open up, Addison. I mean, the run game, like TJ Hawkinson could be that final puzzle piece right in the middle that closes that deal. That's just like, okay, now we're rolling. So,
well, he's big enough. Not to go off on a tirade as we wrap this up, but he's definitely a big enough playmaker, a big enough presence that I would say we're still undefeated if he's healthy all season long.
Oh yeah,
because as hairline as that game was against Detroit, he's definitely big enough to tip us over.
Yeah. No, for sure.
And even as close as it was, even though the score didn't really reflect it because of bullshit, safety and everything else. Same thing. Definitely a big enough presence that game never gets like that in the first place. And they don't beat us with a kick. So I would say confidently, if Hawkinson never got hurt, which you can say shoulda, coulda, woulda all day long about a number of things, but I only say that to point out that he's gonna be going forward now.
He's 3 to 6 points by himself difference. I mean, his presence changes our over and under probably by 6 points, probably by a touchdown. I mean, just because he's just
checkdowns alone, and the fact that he gains respect. So now they can't just
and who was it? Was it Bursic? Anyway, I heard somebody this week talk about that, and they were saying about how TJ a lot of times, because what are you going to do with, you got Justin Jefferson, you got Brackett over here, you got Jordan Addison who can light you up. And so if you keep your specialty players, your corners and your safeties up on there, you put a linebacker on TJ Hawkinson, it's over, dude. I don't care who you are. TJ is going to win that 100 out of 100. There is no doubt. Who's going to guard him? So you can't. I mean, and you might start trying to do that thinking, well, they can do that. No, he's going to light you up. And so you're going to have to bring some safety help down or somebody, a nickel back, is going to have to come down. And then all of a sudden you got Jordan Addison and JJ or Jettis, and one of them is going to be single covered. Dude, like the weapons.
Yeah, it starts getting scary for defenses because, now you got a solid short threat, right?
Yeah.
So which is a lot of things. He's a check down. You're confident, he's always going to be there. So as you progress through, that's great. But what he does for the run game is huge with the play action because of that. It's like you can do a quick bump and dump for that 3-point conversion. So easy. Set up as a run. He just ditches you off. He turns around, takes the ball, right? The defender, he thinks he's blocking. You let him go. He gets past you. You turn around. Boop, there's the ball.
There you go.
First down, 4 yards.
No, he's a difference maker for sure. So we get back on track. I mean, like, it was so easy to just be like, oh, man, really? 2 in a row? We're 5-2. I mean, does it matter when they come? If we'd have lost if we'd have lost to Houston and then we lost to Detroit and we had wins in between, we'd be like, you know what? 5-2. We're still 5-2. It just happened to be 2 in a row. And like you said, there's no excuses. KOC talks about it. But Thursday night, after a short week, the Lions beat you up. We travel to the West Coast. I mean, like, there's the deck is stacked so far against you.
Yeah, it's not so much like you're making excuses as it is as a way for you to go, like, listen, let's not sell the farm.
Yeah,
like
it's
let's
reality.
not lose our confidence of who we are. Like, here are things that conspired against us. We didn't do enough to overcome them. Yeah. Like, it's not an excuse, it's an understanding of, which is a saying I like to use for a lot of things. I guess there's nothing else to say but that. It's not an excuse, it's an understanding of. Like, and so going forward, it's like, what are we going to do? Okay, every week you're 0-0. What are we going to do? Yeah. What are we going to do to go 1-0 this week?
Go 1-0 this week. That's it. Yep. That's
all we can do is sit and watch, and it's Sunday night game, so it'll be great.
Yeah,
I'll be out in North Dakota chasing some birds around.
I'll be coming in from the woods, hopefully with some blood on my hands. Maybe
I'll be watching either on my phone or maybe I might snag a motel room or something to watch, or at a bar. Maybe that's possible too. I don't know. I'll be watching somewhere.
North Dakota. Well, I mean, it's Sunday night game anyways, but North Dakota.
That part kind of sucks. That kind of sucks though, because now I got to get up early to go hunting. Evening game, but I'll do it. I'll be watching.
Yeah.
So
we're called fanatics.
Let's go. We got to get back on track.
Yep, we will.
Yeah.
Here we go. Giving the old Dante.
Rolling. We're rolling. All right, here we go.
See you, bye.
And I tell you guys I love you. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. And that will never change. I will ride with this group until they don't let us play more games.